Hey guys!
What's up, guys? We are back with another Rangers fucking post-game video. And this is going to be a happy one to talk about here.
Yeah.
Rangers get the W here coming in to Toronto. They win the game 2-1. Sorry, I had to look at the score. Yeah, I mean, what a game here.
Yeah.
Let's just start from the beginning here.
Okay.
I mean by the beginning, of waking up and preparing for this game. So what I found out, I knew obviously Toronto was coming up. So at work today, I'm thinking about this game. I'm talking about this game on everybody from the Discord, and I'm like, this is going to be a rough game. This is going to be a rough game for the Rangers. You're dealing with Toronto, who is a definitely Stanley Cup contender, what they want to call them, but who continuously gets eliminated in the first round. But as far as regular season hockey goes, they are a beast.
Mm-hmm.
And they also had their star coming back tonight.
Yep.
Austin Matthews finally came back tonight for the Leafs.
Yep.
Hold on a second.
And I think a lot of Rangers fans were like, oh god, couldn't he wait until the next game to come back? Did he have to come back the day when we're playing him?
Even what's his name?
Gallant said that. He
yeah.
said, I wish he could wait till the next game. He said, well, maybe he'll be rusty coming back in, but I don't think he will. And he wasn't.
He was not.
No.
He was not. So we'll dive into what happened here in this game. So again, nervous about this game, obviously. Coming off the first win against the Habs, which, it's funny to say they went to the Stanley Cup final last year, but I was more worried about the Leafs than I was about the Habs. Habs had a lot of things happen to them in the offseason, a lot of players missing. I knew it was going to be a bad game against the Canadiens because it was a loud building, passionate fans, Original Six. Same thing here. Original Six team, Leafs, passionate fans, Austin Matthews making his debut back to the lineup, and Rangers under fire right in the beginning of the game.
Good.
I mean, they had a little bit of offensive pressure, and then Gaudreau takes a penalty, and you do not want to be taking penalties against this Leafs team, especially New York Rangers. They waver it. They kill it off. I would say the first period, the Leafs probably spent maybe 14 minutes pretty much in the New York Rangers zone.
It might have been. Right.
They had the Rangers pinned in almost the entire first period.
Yeah.
There would be one moment where the Rangers got out and a solid forecheck by Ryan Reeves led to a turnover that went to Mika Zibanejad to net his first of the season to give the Rangers the first goal and the lead of the game there.
Yep.
So I was like, wow. I was like, all right, here we go. Here we go. We got the lead. And then again, right after that, the Leafs would have the Rangers pinned in until the end of the period.
Yep. With Igor making incredible save after save after save.
I want to talk about Igor. We'll talk about Igor. We'll talk about him actually no, because he needs to be talked about throughout this post game. Igor was absolutely outstanding in the first period. We'll say first period.
Okay. Yep.
First period, outstanding. I think he made 12 saves in the first period. Rangers had 10 shots on goal, but it didn't even feel like the Rangers had 10 shots on goal.
No.
Because how hemmed in they were in their own zone the entire time. I mean, they had the defense running around all over the place. But like I said, the Rangers would get out of that with a one-goal lead. We go into the second. Again, another penalty happens here. Rangers take a penalty. Here we go. Leafs power play. You do not want to keep giving this team power plays. Anybody who follows hockey knows what the Leafs have as weapons there on the power play. It's insane how many weapons they have. You have Marner. You have Riley. You have Tavares. You have Matthews. You have Nylander. I mean, you pretty much have an all-star lineup as far as a power play is concerned with 5 players on the ice. Rangers kill it off. I'm like, oh my God, here we go. They killed off 2 Leafs power plays. And the first unit for the Leafs was on there practically the entire time. Those players I just named were on there. Here we go in. And then again, Shesterkin just being amazing.
Yeah.
Being amazing. The entire game. And eventually there was a play, and people on the stream were disagreeing They're like, oh no, that was an okay play. And the Rangers didn't challenge it.
Right.
You know, it was a very close play to the net, and Bunting would get the goal on a close play as Igor tried to come over. Maybe there was some goalie interference. Maybe it hit off the stick and then went in, and that's why they didn't challenge it. They looked at it I know the Rangers bench looked at it, but they opted not to do anything with it. So like, whatever, man. Like because if you do make that challenge in hockey, you get a delay a game penalty and you lose your timeout.
Oh, there's both things. I knew you lost the timeout, but even Bunting kind of smiled and lifted his eyebrow.
Yeah.
I think he knew that it was a close call and it wasn't reviewed. Not on purpose, not like he was cheating, but I think okay, I'm glad they didn't make anything about that call.
I'm glad you said that because they showed him on the bench after he scored the goal and he was just kind of like...
Oh, he smiled and his eyebrow.
He was like, I guess that's a goal for me. Yep. Oh, yeah, boy.
Yep. But, you gotta take it. I don't think he's a shady person, a player. I just think that he's like, I'm glad I got away with that one. Maybe it was the right call.
We kind of were calling him a shady person, though.
No, sure. I said it was a shady smile.
I
said it was a shady smile. Yeah.
That's funny. So here we go. We're in the second. We're tied 1-1 here. We're going to the third. And again, Igor stood on his fucking head in the second period.
Yeah.
And more than the first. I mean...
Yeah, in the second period, it seemed like the rest of the Rangers were not playing as hard as they were in the first. I know it was mostly in their end the whole time in the first, but they were like just barely, but It
seemed like the quality had like dropped a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially after the Leafs had scored the goal. It was a little deflating there.
Yeah.
So like, we'll just leave that, because that's all that really happened in the second was that the Leafs got the goal and Igor is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
So here we go into the third now. Third period here, tied 1-1. And again, the Leafs, a lot of pressure. The draws, we'll get into that at the end of the game. The Leafs, again, putting on tons of pressure here on the Rangers.
Yeah.
And Igor, again, standing on his head. Maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 10 heads.
Yeah.
He was standing on. I don't know where the heads came from, but he was standing on them. He played so solid tonight. It was amazing. Nobody scores in the third. Rangers started putting more pressure, though. They had a couple of chances. They did have some power plays. Both teams went 0 for 3 on the power play.
Yep.
Rangers did have a late one, and they had some chances.
Yeah.
Leafs had a late one, too. And again, Igor just stood there. Igor made, like, a couple of saves in rapid succession.
Yeah.
A couple of times tonight, where it's a shot, a rebound, a save, another save. A shot, a rebound, a save, another save. Mm-hmm. Even people on the chat who were on the stream, like thank you, Leafs fans, for being on the stream. We're like, why is Igor doing this?
Right.
Why is he making all these saves?
Right.
And it's just like, that's what he's doing.
Yep.
That's what he does. And so then we get through the third and we go into overtime. Obviously. You can see the overtime thing over there.
Yeah, real quick though, could I say something real quick? In the third period, Igor came out to play, the puck came way out.
That was overtime.
Oh, that was overtime.
That was
Sorry.
overtime,
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Sorry.
That was over.
Sorry.
That was awesome. The overtime period was fucking nuts.
Yeah.
For the Rangers and the Leafs. Obviously, you're going to have Zibanejad. It was Zibanejad, Panarin, and a Fox, I think, to start. And, obviously you have Matthews, Marner, and Nylander and all that. Or whoever plays defense over, I don't even know. It was back-to-back fire wagon for, a while. It's 5 minutes, obviously, 5 minutes over here in the overtime period. And, it was back-to-back. It was insane. It was a very entertaining overtime period.
Yeah.
But, knowing at the same time that the game could end on any shot from either team.
It was stressful. I think it was entertaining. It was
pretty stressful.
For me.
It was pretty stressful.
Yeah.
It was pretty stressful.
But it was, I guess it was entertaining.
And then here we go back into, before we get into the game-winning goal, the Rangers absolutely got crushed in this game on face-off draws.
Mm-hmm.
Killed. I think it was 36-12.
Wow.
Up until the last face-off draw, where the Rangers would win it. And I don't know who took the draw, but I know they won it to Panarin, and Panarin snapped it in right off the face-off win in overtime to win the game for the Rangers. So there's a lot of things to talk about in this game, like we said. So we'll get into the goods and the nots. Rangers power play was fucking terrible in this game. Terrible. They had 3 power play chances. They could not get shots on net. I think out of the 3 chances they had 2 shots on goal. Power play wise.
I think so, yeah.
They tried to keep going through the zone. They did not dump it in. They kept trying to dipsy doodle through the blue line while the least defenders are there, poking it, dumping it out, go back, get it, have to bring it up. Very bad. I was bitching about the power play the entire time.
The third one, because before the third one, they had taken a timeout, right, to talk
about
it.
They did take a timeout, yes.
And you were hoping that they would talk about switching it up, because the first 2 power plays, I don't even think they got a shot on goal of either of the first 2. I think.
I thought, but somebody said that on the stream that they had 2.
Okay, all right. In the first 2, not all 3. In the first 2? Okay, whatever. Yeah, but anyway, it was very bad, the first 2 power plays. So Andrew was hoping that they would switch it up, and they didn't, but it still worked out. I just realized we're running out of time on the phone.
Right, they didn't, but like it is what it is. They tried to do what they could do. Power play was terrible. It was terrible.
Yeah.
But penalty kill for the Rangers really good, really good. They killed off 3 Leafs power plays, which is really hard to do. But yeah, it really came down to Igor Shesterkin here. It really did. He stood up for this team. He put this team on his shoulders, and he said, "I'm going to make every save except one."
Yeah.
The rest of you guys got to get it done. And Panarin finally shined for his first goal.
Yes.
And Zibanejad had his first goal this night.
Which I think are huge, because those are huge players.
Those are your players that you need to come through.
Yes. And I'm hoping that'll make them do more. Yeah.
And Goudreau had a good night, too. I said his name the most tonight. Goudreau was around. He was doing things. He was getting things done. He was in deep. Him and Reeves, too.
Yeah.
Very good.
Simmons was also barking at Reeves, trying to get him to... I'm surprised the fight didn't break out. Next time we play them, there might be something going down.
Those are 2 scrappy players, too, that would have no problem dropping the gloves.
I want Reeves to do something, because Simmons was starting. Simmons bumped into Igor at one point
on the first intermission or the second intermission. He bumped into Shesterkin. Shesterkin played it cool. He just walked off, said, I got other people to deal with.
But Reeves says, exactly.
I got my mafia over here.
Yeah.
But so we'll end this real quick.
Can I just say real quick?
Yes.
At one point, Igor came out of the goal, way out of the goal, pretty far away.
Yes.
And he still got back. And I always trust when Igor does, plays the puck. But he came out so far. And Trouba was there to kind of back him up, too. But it all worked out. It was scary, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, Igor was absolutely amazing in this game. He really was. I mean, go back and look at the fucking tape and see how good it was. But we're running out of time here on this video. Guys, again, thank you for checking us out.
Yeah.
Come watch a live stream sometimes. There are Rangers around their way, man. 5 points now.
Yep.
The second win of the season here. You guys have a good night. We'll catch you. We'll be back Thursday for Rangers Nashville 8 p.m.
Yes.
Rangers continue the road trip. All right. Have a good night, guys.
Good night.
Peace.